starting from the kind of architectural side, what was the brief for this project? And for people that are watching that might not have any idea what the project entails, can you give us a little bit of a description of what it was?
All right. The project is only student accommodation, no other accommodation. So it's purely student accommodation, but it was aimed at the NSFAS student. So yes, so it's it makes it available for the students that has a NSFAS bursary that can live there. There's not many others in Hatfield that is absolutely aiming at that. So I think that is why it was immediately filled and very popular. But saying that is our rooms are therefore fairly small. There is units with 4 beds, 4-bed units where it's a 2-bedroom and 2 people sharing a room. And that leads us actually to the balconies that we have actually included, and that wasn't specifically part of the brief. Is we felt that if you're an NSFAS student, you don't really want to spend all your money on laundry, and we felt that most of the students will really just put their t-shirts in the shower with them and want to hang it up somewhere. So we pushed fairly for the whole balcony idea as a little washing line area. But obviously people don't want to see you washing all over, so we had to make it something solid so that you could wash your hair, you go to the class, put your t-shirt and your socks out, and yeah, that's where the balcony idea started from. But otherwise, the brief is commercial student accommodation.
Okay, fantastic. Aman, any comments or questions from your side so far?
Yes, so maybe I was confused when we first looked at this project. Was this a retrofit or was it a brand new building?
No, it's a brand new building. It's a brand new building. There was 3 houses. It was 3 houses on this site that was bought up, and no, this is a brand new building.
Okay, so I was actually very impressed with the idea of the drying lines on the balcony, and I was wondering, I was asking, you know, when we were discussing it with the judges, I was asking if you were also using it somehow to cool down the rooms or something, or was that not part of the briefing?
No, but
what is an old Egyptian cooling system, is it?
It's not an old Egyptian cooling system, but that sounds, I could have used that one, you know. All right. What it was is, as you know, with the energy calcs in a building today, one cannot put large windows in it.
Yes.
But if you're in a very small area, to be able to open up something is a huge plus, especially in Pretoria. So we took the glass down past the balcony, but the balcony ended up as a shading to our glass as well. But it enabled us to bring light into the room as well as open up, so that if you sit there, you can breathe a bit. So it's a dual purpose, but that is why you'll have see that the balcony door is a glass door from the bottom to the top as well. Yes. So it has a energy role as well, but also a breathing role, literally and mentally.
Okay, and I'm just curious, how big are the rooms in square meters, and how many lines do they get per room? As in, like, in your balcony, I couldn't see from the picture.
All right, okay, but maybe I could bring a unit. But if you, I'll show you a room, a plan. Maybe we should have given you guys a plan as part of which I can always do.
Yeah, you're welcome to do that. Yeah, if you'd like to do so.
All right.
If there's anything that you want to share, screen sharing is also enabled, so you can do that.
Yes. I'll go back to this, but as I said, the units are fairly small, and most of them are the 4-bed units. There is a 1-bed and a 2-bed units as well. It's a little bit more luxurious.
the idea is so novel. You know, we all got curious about, well, how many lines does a student get and how does it work? And, you know.
Or you mean the washing lines? All right.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
It's one door per room.
Okay.
If it's a I can. Sorry, I just
Oh,
want
there
to
it is.
open up.
Okay.
Yes. So. But I just want to open up a typical plan, but I also want to open up the proper plan, so we can actually just then share my screen. So yes, a balcony per room. There you can actually see that internal photograph.
Mm.
If you go back to the previous one that we've just seen.
This one. There we go.
That one. Yes. All right. So there you can actually visibly see, which I'll show you now on a plan. So it's this is a 2-bed room in a 4-bed unit. So in this specific unit, we've got 2 rooms. The one bed is behind the other, and there's your room. And so these 2 guys share a balcony. And it's 80% of the units actually look like this. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yes.
All right. We've got the 2 wings, the northern wing and the southern wing, and with all the accessories and computer areas, let me show you that one. I know I go too fast in these cases, where we've got the computer rooms and the lounge areas in the center. But if I now go into, say, a unit, you enter into the unit. We've got a little kitchenette and a lounge kitcheny area. We've got a shower plus a basin and a toilet plus a basin, and then you can see there's your 2 beds, BIC, study nook, and a balcony.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's very simple.
Very cool.
What made it extremely interesting in this case is we've got the Gautrain on the north.
Yes.
So the reason why we haven't utilized the whole site for the main tower is the 15-meter repatriation area that we just couldn't use. We could use it as parking, and I'll show you the parking layout is that bit we could use as a parking on 2 levels, but we couldn't pile because we were not allowed to go below 1.5 below natural ground level because of the retaining wall of the Gautrain rail.
Yes.
So that is why we ended up with a strange shape.
Yeah. Yeah, I know parking is a big problem in that area. Yeah.
Although we've got a point one per student parking, it gives us about 100 and something parking, but only 5 is utilized.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the students just don't have
drive.
cars, you know. If you and we're very close to the university, so there's no need for cars. So it's a constant battle with the zoning regulations to actually understand student accommodation, because we've been in student accommodation in our practice for more than about 15 years. Yes.
Okay.
Is that the first time that this system has been used for drying, like this balcony system?
This is the first time, you know, because every time we snag a building, then the students are in most cases already in. It's quite challenging, I can promise you, to snag a building with students being in. But then you see, you know, that the chairs are being used for clothing, and there's laundromats and there's everything, but they actually don't use it.
Yes.
So that is why. Yeah, and the client, I must say, was very against balconies, because they see it as a, you know, in other cases where it's not a drying rack, it's a balcony, the students go there and they make a mess. Yes. So we had to really convince them to provide us with balconies. Yeah. Yes. Cool. All right.
So what were some of the challenges that you had on the project, Anna-Marie, and how did you overcome them?
If we specifically just talk about the balcony and how we actually ended up with having what we've got is the QS allowed for a 110 brick plastered balcony. And that's not to our, that was separate. We didn't know that's what they've allowed for. So when we started issuing details for the balconies, they came to us and said, whoa, 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 whoa. No, definitely, we can't afford that. And that was a really a typical steel balcony with posts, etc. We looked at various different methods of clipping on. You can see a clipped on scenario could have worked, but working through all the cost at the end, a little slab, a concrete slab, worked the best, where we could just then put a balcony on that. And we went through about 6-7 designs where we got subcontractors in, and many companies that we looked at glass where the guys were going to paint the inside, because our main issue was that we specifically wanted something crisp, sharp and shiny. So we didn't want a brick balustrade plastered painted. You can just imagine what it would have been. Horrible. So we had a 3 months battle to actually get to where we were, and we had different steel designs, steel and post traditional designs as well, welding, etc. And we then thought of laser cutting. So that is why we ended up I say it looks like a paper doll, you know. If you, we're a lot of women in our practice. We're actually only women in our practice, but the fact that we could use steel and laser cut together as a combination immediately brought the budget completely down. So we've got 500 and something, 550, near 550 balconies. And by using laser, the company called Laser Fab, and cutting that, it was also a new challenge for us to actually draw the laser cut pattern, because you can imagine if you bend the steel, we're talking of radiuses and all that. So it was a bit of a learning experience for us, which was absolutely fun. So ending up with, and I think I gave you the actual drawing of the laser cutting that we've sent in. Yeah, that was very exciting for us. So to actually then came and actually beating the price of a brick balustrade plaster was absolutely fantastic for us. So that was, yeah, that was our woo moment.
Good. Aman, any comments or questions?
Yes. So, and how complicated or easy was the hooking it onto the building?
That was, we went through quite a few things. I think in the drawing you can also see that we've welded on base plates, where we've done a few tested. We've also done a sandbag test onto the balcony. And yeah, so at the end it was actually very easy, because we could accommodate tolerances. The floor of the balcony is tiled, and we've got a opening spaced around it. The water can run down. The balcony forms a natural drip. So at the end it worked actually fantastic, because as I said, we could accommodate tolerances very easy, because obviously all the balconies are exactly the same. So and the concrete is not, but just by spacing and just with those brackets we could accommodate it actually easy. The program was fantastic, because you can just think all those balconies came already bent and welded onto site. We with a base coat, and they could just go up. So that was fantastic. Yeah.
Good.
Program wise, it helped amazingly. Yes.
So you've touched a little bit on the benefit of steel. why would you say that steel was the right material for this application, and how did it play a role in achieving the vision that you had for this project?
Look, I think from a aesthetical point of view, if you go, we went a bit out of the box with this one, because firstly, for a client to agree on this multicolored, but to not have crisp, clear, shiny effect at the end. Now there's lots of materials on the market that you could, like a Luca bond would have been fantastic as well, but that's hugely expensive. So it's, yes, to get the aesthetical effect within our budget, that was fantastic. So we achieved what we wanted to actually below our budget. That was fantastic. Yeah. The one guy from WHO actually came to me at one day, and he said, yes, you just don't give up, do you? And it was really, we did this detail, and they priced it in this one and that one and that one and that one, really up to the point where we said, okay, that will work. Yeah. And nothing else as obviously as steel would have been in budget, and brick would have been in budget, but
no, we don't want to hear that.
yeah. But we didn't want, aesthetically, it would have been horrible.
Yeah,
yes.
It's unusual to hear someone say we chose steel to fall in budget, so that's a great thing to hear.
Yes, well, it was exactly that. Yeah, you can actually talk to WHO on that, because yeah, they were part of the process of.
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, I think I've asked most of the questions I wanted to ask. The last one for me, just Anna-Marie, was what are you most proud of on this project?
You very seldom in architecture, I've been in architecture for the grey, you can see, many years, and you do a project and you go away, and you do another project and you go away, and it's like a baby that you hand over. So very seldom do you actually get feedback on a project. But one of my colleagues took the Gautrain to the Hatfield station, which is obviously just a block from us, from the site, and they took a Uber to Loftus. They went to a show, and the Uber guy actually told them, do they mind if we just go around this thing, because have you seen this building? And the guy said, I drive past it every day, so it can make my day. And wow, yeah, so that's what I'm most proud of, so yeah.
That's a great compliment.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, any final comments or questions from your side?
No, I'll just like to congratulate Anna-Marie, because right from when we first saw it as judges, we thought it's very rare that someone goes out of the way to think about the needs of the students in such an innovative way.
Yes.
We'll see what the feedback you get is from students. I'm very curious to hear. I guess in a few years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But
that is the main objective.
Yes. But you've obviously made the effort, and it looks like it's very innovative and a very cool use of the system, both aesthetically, like you said, in energy-wise, but also just for the purpose of identifying needs.
Yes. But thank you so much.